What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog, coming to you on a packed Sunday. Yes, I know everybody's in the football right now, but listen, I'm trying to get y'all foot in the door for tech. I'm trying to get you in the door because I know Ruben's been in the chat. The tech bubble burst, but let me tell you something, Ruben. That's a lot of fear. A lot of people were overworking jobs. Amazon and these companies and Google have over 200,000 employees. They let 1,000 people go. It's a drop in the bucket. Now, if you want to talk about a tech burst, you're talking about 1999. That was a burst, right? The 2000.com burst. But right now, I think a lot of folks get caught up in the fear of like the other day we had a show and somebody was like, "Oh my God, how are people going to pay for these classes when the economy's so bad?" And I said, "Girl, classes and courses and masterminds are going to go through the roof for the next year. In-person conferences, then people gonna be in there. You know why? Because not everybody's in a recession. It's really a choice at this point. But I brought on our special guest, Subzero 369 live to talk about his classes he'll be offering this week and also his perspectives on tech because he been in and out of tech and he been making money in tech for years now. Welcome to the audience, Mr. Build.
Hello, hello. How are you? How you doing?
I'm doing well. You are
I
always a
cannot
highly
see the
requested guest.
I can't see the chat, but I'll just go to the video on YouTube
For
because I
sure,
can't.
for sure.
Yeah, 'cause I'm like, where's the chat? I can't see it. So
I'm
here, let
sorry, you
me
must be
just
on your
go.
phone. But so long and the story short, I'm gonna go over a few articles with you, because before we do that though, give them a little bit of your background, Mr. Bill, and tell them
Okay,
your
my
hit.
name is Subzero 3639. I once had a channel called Subzero 3639, and it got terminated. Uh, but that being said, I run Lifting the Veil IT Academy. I've been doing IT for about, I say I've been doing it since probably the early 2010s. Actually, and just jumped in probably around before then, a little bit, maybe a year or so prior to that. But anyway, got in, been doing database development. I paid, all these unseen amounts of money to get these skills. And then I started noticing that the places that I would try to go get training from, they would just give you the knowledge and give you a little 3-day boot camp and push you on out the door for $5,000. I'm like, man, I don't know half of what y'all said. And so I just decided to jump in and really, just try to throw my hat in the ring. And it was just on a whim. I was just making a video and I said, hey, uh, you know, if you really want to, make some money, then just hit me up. You want to start getting into tech. And next thing you know, I started getting emails. I was like, oh Lord, have mercy. I got to really teach now. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been teaching. It's been a journey. It's been a very fulfilling thing because I've been able to see people climb out of their hole. And I'll tell you about that later because I was in a hole. I was in a rut when these people talk about being financially bankrupt in a sense, not physically, but just almost feeling that way as far as your accounts low, you don't have any money, you struggling. I was struggling to pay a $40 talk, text, and web phone bill every month. Okay, I was borrowing money to do that, like sweeping floors at a church and stuff and mopping and asking, can I come up there and clean the floors? Just so I could have enough money to pay my done cell phone bill so I can interview for jobs. So if you can come from that, I'm talking about no car, driver's license suspended. I got locked up in Georgia. I always talk about this. I got locked up in Georgia because I was up there, after having gotten fired from a job on purpose in Alabama. I was trying to go to Georgia to get in the Workforce Investment Act. I wound up getting stopped by Stockbridge police, and the rest is history. They locked me up, impounded my car, charged me $500 to get it out. Had I not gotten it out, they would have sold it. Also, they ran the serial numbers on everything I had in my car. They tested my hydroxycut pills to see if they were drugs, and they tried to pin a fake ID charge on me for having a state issued Alabama license. ID card, and said it was a fake driver's license. Until I said no, Alabama issues ID cards. It's like, oh, okay. They was about to. So I was like, these people tried to destroy me, and after all that, I go in the jail cell. I'm sitting there, and I just roll over to the wall where can't nobody see me. I just shed a tear like, man, Lord, what's going on? I'm trying to get to a better place. I'm trying to improve my situation. And it just seemed like everything is working against me. So you don't have to tell me about being down and out, destitute, broke, struggling. I know what it's like. I've been there. I was in my 30s before I even got into IT. I ain't getting into IT at 22 years old. I got into IT in my 30s after having done a lot of other things in life. And I'm here to tell you that when I got out, I got on the other side. I was able to pay off $14,000 worth of tickets, reinstate my license, start businesses, and live a comfortable life. My son is in private school. My wife's upstairs. She doesn't work, and so I'm comfortable. I'm in a good headspace mentally, and, God has blessed me. So what I've been able to do is get students to do that now. Now I got students working 2 jobs. Shout out to Gwen. She landed her second position for $105,000 yesterday or Friday. So that's where we are.
Man, whoo, y'all hear all that, right? Take a deep breath. That was a lot. Listen, you can come from bottom to the top. Now, y'all don't know if y'all catch every show I've ever done with Subzero, but if you watch the one he had in here, literally, he had a guy who was driving for Uber during the day, studying, got into tech, overemployed, making money. Dude was in a Tahoe Ubering around all town all day. Changed his life. You got somebody right here. I started my new role in tech this morning. Thank you again, Ericka. You got somebody raw trucking. I saw your video about 6 months ago with Salesforce guy. I stopped my trucking company, got 3 certs and a job in tech consulting. Come on, man. I bring y'all live, real results. If you're actually looking for real results, if you're actually looking to change your life, this channel stays on it. Okay.
Let me say this. I
Okay.
actually deal with a lot of truckers. Like a lot of them want to get out. And so that I love to reach out. I love to hear from them. So, and if you put the link in the chat, I have a free subscription. I mean, not subscription. I have a free consultation that I'll do if you're interested. So if you want to talk to me one on one, and I'll give you the phone number in a second. If you just want the number directly to call me, text me, I'm open.
So again, I want to thank you for what you do. I want to thank you for what you're offering because so many people get scared of tech and getting in tech and how can they do this and should they go to a boot camp, and we're bringing real life people that have real life results, and I think that's what's important. Um, and so let me get over to in regards of what some people have been saying. Oh my God, they're so scared. The tech burst, and so I definitely want to. A lot of the hyperbole that is done on YouTube is unreal, right? It's like a clickbait city. So let's start with this first one. I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all this. See if it let me show. Oh nope, it won't let me do it. But I'll read you the title: Laid off tech workers quickly find new jobs. I
It's
can pull you
showing.
another one.
Oh no, it wasn't.
Oh,
No,
does it? It wasn't.
it's a
Okay, hold on.
paywall.
Sorry. Yeah, they'd be tripping. So hold on.
Yeah.
Let me do this one. I got another one. Got another one for y'all. Let me see here. Man, it's a lot. Tech workers shock young workers, but not so much older people, right? Talks about this is just cyclical. This is the ebb and flow of business. This is how companies, bump in the fall. Again, it said when Lyft laid off 13% of workers in November, Kelly Chang was shocked to find herself among the 700 people who got laid off. It seemed like tech companies have so much opportunity. Once you get the job, you're in the door. Now, again, you read it, most of this article, you see most of the people are already offered another job. Laterally, same pay, another company, etc., etc. Bill, talk to us. Tell me some of what's going on out here when people get nervous about all these tech layoffs.
I honestly I love it in a sense because it really I like to sober people up when they call me because people believe that stuff. And then I say, okay, I saw this on CNN or I saw this on MSNBC or whatever little network. And I'll tell you like I always tell my students, look, ultimately at the end of the day, that has nothing to do with the level of success that you can run into. For example, Google laid off 12,000 employees. They got over 200,000 employees. Google is not like the fact that, and another thing, like if you, and I saw a guy do this, he said, man, that's Much Ado About Nothing. I saw it on another tech channel. He went through the average Google employee's daily life, right? And it's crazy how much money and it just the amount of money that they throw at just stuff. They just give it to the people that work there for free. You can get free lunch, like organic vegetables, everything. They give you free coffee. They got all these art exhibits. They got all this stuff in there that's worth all these memorabilia stuff worth all this money. Like that has nothing to do with doing the job. They're wasting tons of money. Then they actually the headquarters is in an old aircraft hangar owned by Howard Hughes. So these are just some of the things that I see that these tech firms do that really kind of hurt their bottom line. You know what I'm saying? And so they're just cutting the fat, if you ask me, which is what they should do. They should be cutting the fat. Exactly.
Here's another one.
Let
Laid
me
off
tell
tech
you
workers
something.
quickly find new jobs. I
I've
can
been
go article
fired.
after article.
I've been fired. I've been laid off, fired. I've been both. And I'm gonna tell you just like this. Getting a job. Last week my phone rung so much. I was like, I'm through. I'm not really. Once I find a way, if I'm in another position or in something that's not in IT, I'm changing my phone number because these people call and they're relentless. These recruiters, I get calls every day. I have a testimonial I'll play for you in a minute from a student who says, "Man, my phone ringing off the hook. He just got his job the other day, like a week and a half ago." And he was, this guy's making over $100,000, and he was like, "Man, my phone is ringing like crazy, so I never have to worry about employment." And so
Never.
that's the thing, guys. It's not, uh, I just think that a lot of times when you speak and you're not in the industry, you want to make sure you know what you're talking about. I'm not saying you can't. We all speak on things that we're not experiencing, but I just, you know, exactly. Engineering Cannabis says I'm seeing data analysts, and that exactly. If you share my website, we're talking about the class that I'm doing now, which is a data analytics class. Which data analytics is going to be teaching those two disciplines you just named off. And you says I'm seeing data analyst job that pay 120 and learning Tableau and Power BI and HR. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly why I'm teaching what I'm teaching, because these people coming off. I've seen people come off the street getting six figures when it comes to certain skill sets. Certain skill sets they pay $15 an hour to start. Yes, you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars, but you may start at 15, 20, $25 an hour. And you got jobs that the floor is $45, $50. That's the basic job. That's for a guy with 2 years experience, 3 years, $50. I saw a data engineer job one time. The guy they was doing 150,000 for a certified data engineer, and it was like the experience was like 2 years. I just couldn't believe it. Even that was I was like, man. Usually I expect people to be asking for 3 to 5 years, but 2 years is almost like junior level. I was like, man, they are really, the demand is there. And as long as there's a need for data, then there will always be a need for data analytics. There will always be a need for business intelligence as long as there is a business. If a business has shipping, if it has manufacturing, if it has any type of logistics or any type of enterprise related uh, dealings, which just about every business does, then that information needs to be tracked. And if you want to win in business, you want to be able to make informed, intelligent decisions about that business, which is why my students get jobs in a nutshell.
Man, listen, I'm gonna read off some of the comments. I just want you guys to understand. You know, maybe tech people watch this channel. You know, maybe tech. I had a boat party, Bill. Everybody at the boat party was new this year almost. It was like five people, the same, maybe five of the seven of the regulars, right? And everybody was in tech. Everybody was naming off their tech job. I was like, good gracious. So let me go ahead and read off some of these comments real quick, and we're gonna hop on to Bill's site, and then I'm also show you there's more articles just supporting what we're talking about right now. Okay. I'm currently in tech, about to scale up, and there are plenty of jobs available. Tech layoffs are only really hitting big tech companies that are publicly held. Um, Look for jobs at places like Honeywell, New York Life, Delta.
And can I say something? Can I add
Yeah,
one
go
thing?
ahead. Go ahead.
Look, when you look at a lot of the jobs that are coming down the pipe of that are getting terminated, that's like Twitter, that's Silicon Valley jobs, maybe like a Microsoft, somebody either from Seattle or from Silicon Valley. Well, guess what? You don't hear often that Publix has tech jobs. You don't hear often that Nabisco. I get calls from Hooters, man. Hooters called me one time for a job, and they were saying, "Hey, we'll give you up to a $50 a day stipend at any Hooters you want to get whatever you want." Like this is part of the job perks. But you wouldn't think tech when you think of Hooters. You think of you know what, right? You think of women, right? You when you think of Arby's, what do you think of roast beef sandwiches and fast food? You don't think of tech. When you think of Macy's, you think of shopping stores. I mean, shopping centers, and Macy's has a tech hub right here in Atlanta. So when I said everybody needs tech, everybody needs tech. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. And so when we people say, well, they're laying these companies off, I mean, laying these people off, a lot of them are people that either were highly paid and really weren't necessary, like at Twitter, probably more than likely. I'm sure Elon Musk, when he was there, saw that, oh, well, man, this is wasteful, man. Why are you giving all these people free food and free everything? At least at Delta, you had to pay for your stuff, right? I was at Delta. You had to pay for everything. But these companies, they're so rich. They made so much money over the last 30 years that they were just extravagant. So I guess with the economy tightening up, they're saying, hey, this is just fat we don't need. But you can't look at that for the regular. Probably if you subtract the Silicon Valley and Seattle from America's tech jobs, you would still have hundreds of maybe millions of tech jobs because there's a shortage. And that's why you got to bring people all the way from India and Asia and all over Asia,
By the
Africa.
millions,
Yeah, these people are
creating
coming
boot
over
camps in
here.
Canada and South
Exactly.
America.
Exactly.
Um, Thank you, Bill. It's such valuable information. There will always be entry level jobs due to cost. She said you can get 10 phone calls a day easy. People calling you, offering you jobs. I'm seeing data analyst jobs paying 120K. Um, I don't know, DJ Cadillac. We're getting some. DJ Cadillac is leaning the other way, really. If you got skills, then you will be employed. Course Careers is a tech sales boot camp helping Black people get high paying tech jobs, making 60K a year. Okay, so Course Careers. Already, you see that? Bob has here a question. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Is web developer a good place to start as a career in IT if you mix that with digital real estate, specifically with blockchain?
From what I know, there's some web developers I seen making pretty good money, but I I wouldn't be an authority on that. But just from what I've seen, there are some web developers I see that make pretty good. So, um, we offer Salesforce, we offer Oracle Financials, we offer data analytics, and we will be soon offering Azure, um, data engineering, which is that's the job that if I get two of those jobs, I'll be making $500,000 a year. I work two jobs now. I don't make $500,000. But if I get with 10 years, 12, 13 years experience, if I get those two certifications, I can get two jobs paying 250,000 apiece.
Okay, now y'all
That's
hear
that's
y'all
that's the
hear
type of money. That's the type of money you can make working remotely. Work one job will pay you 20,000 a month, but two of them, yeah, they pay that kind of money, especially when you have a large number of years in the industry.
Gotcha. Tam said, "Don't be broke because of fear." Even when the military is being cut post Cold War, 50%, they were still recruiting privates, lieutenants, and doctors. Databricks certs with 5 years is paying $443,000. Do you see that? That's crazy.
Databricks is going to be part of what we're teaching too. So that's actually, I've never seen that, but I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it.
hmm So you have data scientists and machine learning, 300K with 3 years experience. Ooh, you know what I mean? That's why, listen, these men with these computers, if y'all gonna get on these computers, we gonna talk to you now. Okay,
And
anyway,
see, inflation is another thing you got to look at too.
right?
Inflation is going up, so prices are going up. When people call me now, I've added $25, $30 an hour. You don't call
hmm
me. I'm not. I'm not asking for two digits anymore. When people call me, I want three digits.
Right.
Don't call me because you wasting my time. It's not even worth it because of inflation. Now, of course, I got more than one job, but
Yeah.
a lot of times if I was just working one job, I would, there was a time where 110, 120, and it's still good money. Don't get it
Still
twisted.
good
But
money, yeah.
what I'm saying is good money, but for what I need and what I have and my responsibilities and what I'm trying to accomplish, I need more than that. And so, you
Sub said
need
he
to try
can't feed his family off less than $1 million a year, y'all.
to. No, I ain't saying that. I'm saying that.
I need $1 million a year. I'm into data roles. I'm teaching myself Python and Power BI and machine learning. Congratulations. Recruiters are the main ones getting fired. Honestly, they go to places that been around 25 to 100 years. Interviewed for tech sales last week and this week. Congratulations. She said Dollar General, CVS, Walgreens, all the bigger companies, and Nordstrom. Oh yeah, they probably hiring all kind of
A
tech
lot of
people.
companies, just you'd be surprised just by any main chain like chain business, even if it's just internet or brick and mortar, is gonna they need tech, they need data, they just do.
Right. Steven said I saw some for people at Google who got laid off for making 500K to $1 million a year. Yeah,
Exactly.
and I keep telling y'all, I know people right here in Austin. Some live other places now, where they were making 182,000 a year, and they were like, "Yeah, I need 6 months off." Oh, well, you go ahead and take 6 months. We're not gonna let you out this job, but you can take 6 months off. They have a flexibility because it is a shortage of skilled people. And if you're smart, let's be honest. There's only so many cars you can buy, trips you can go on, vacation you can go on. At that point, you can start buying rentals. You can start buying vacation homes. You can start buying, uh, you know, um, rental properties and increasing your stock profile when you're making this level of money. Now, DJ Cadillac, I just said that. There's a shortage of experienced professionals. They got to get in the door to be experienced, though, right? They got to get in the door and get the year to 3 years under their belt so they can be experienced. That's what's going to happen. Let me see. Let me see what else y'all got.
There's a question by Sally
Okay, I'll go down. Let me see where is that.
uh, near the bottom.
Did I miss
I
it? Let me
think
go
I
down
don't
here.
know. It's probably up. So shout out to
Sally said,
M1.
"What is entry level pay? Women make less. I've talked to them. They got out because of the stress and competition."
Yeah. So let me say this. My students on average is 85K. That's the normal 85 to $100,000. I have a testimonial of three guys. They all work together to help each other. They all three of them making over $100,000. Certain skill sets pay less than others. I will not say which skill sets because I don't want to get attacked. I know how people are. It's almost like Republican Democrat when you say which side you're on. But for me, having done, I would say, thousands of consultations over the last 3-4 years, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I know a lot. There are a lot of us as African Americans out there working in factories, working at enterprise. I don't know what it is about driving trucks, but I've talked to a lot of people that drive trucks that wind up being stuck in a truck, but they got a background in IT. Like, man, I took this, I took that, I got this cert, couldn't get a job. Man, I'm driving trucks. I want to get out this truck and really go where I was originally wanted to go. And so you can make, it varies. Some jobs pay $40,000 entry level. There are some jobs like that. And you have to know how to navigate this. I'm not up here trying to get you no $40,000. That's not it. The lowest one of my students has ever taken was $65,000. That was the lowest that one of my students has ever taken. And I told him, I said, man, take that for a while, but this is a skill set that pays 100,000. He knows that because his
You need to be
brother,
actively looking for something more.
exactly, because his brother is actually, his name is Maurice. His two brothers I taught. Maurice got the 65, and then the other brother got he got a job for 100. But what made it funny with Marvin, that's his name. Marvin was like, man, I ain't taking a job unless I make 100,000. He was like, I gotta at least make $50. That's what he was saying. That's the attitude he had. And when people called, that's what he was telling them. I remember. And I thought it was funny because I was like, this cat ain't got no experience. But it was cool because he got a job, he interviewed, he aced it, and he making his money. Now, since I think he got another job now. So I don't know if he working 2 or 1, but I know he's making pretty good money. So it's all on if you had a right mentor, the person to tell you what to take. I had my brother. He told me what to take. I would not be in data if it went for my brother. My brother got hired directly by Oracle. He worked for Oracle, which is very hard to do. But he got a job at Oracle. And I remember during the .com craze back in the 90s, I was playing ball at Tuskegee. I wanted to be in IT so bad. I wanted to get a job, an internship, and people were graduating getting 60, 70, $100,000 straight out because it was just companies were just throwing money at tech people. And it was just the wild, wild west, if you will, of during that bubble. And then it burst in 99. And then it became really fashionable to, I ain't gonna say fashionable, it just became real with the amount of money that people were starting to make. They still were making good money. But, and then I was in real estate then. But even still, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so here's the thing. When people say, what is entry level pay? When the average American in America is making 30,000, well, I'll just put it this way. 75 million working Americans are making 30,500 a year or less. Then the next level of that, people get around 50K, 60K, but then they get these crazy work hours. So when someone's talking to me about tech, like, well, what's the entry level pay? And I see women getting out. The women I've seen getting out, they're making 120, 150, but they just had a baby, or they just got married, or they just moved. Again, what were they doing? Were they on a phone? Were they a help desk? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but we've already heard Tamika already tell us you started the help desk, but you don't stay there. If you stuck at a help desk job making under 100K a year, that's really no one's fault but yourself. So again, you have to always evaluate. I'm not going to take advice from people who are not successful in something. Can I make that very clear one more time? I'm not going to take advice from people who are unsuccessful. There's a tendency in us to ask our friends and family a question about something they know absolutely nothing about. I'm going to go to a community college. I'm going to go to a networking event. I'm going to go somewhere where people know what they're talking about, or they're actually in the industry right now, today, in a job, actively doing it. That's just the tracks. I'm not going to ask people who don't know what they're talking about or they walked away from it. Why would I ask those people anything? For their perspective on what not to do? That's like saying, let me go ask an alcoholic what not to do. Let me go ask a divorced person what I should do in marriage. That's not going to work. And I'm not knocking you. I just want to be very clear. That's where I am on that. So I'm gonna hit this question and I'm gonna go to your website, Bill. This one is thank you, Desmond, for the $5 super chat. I have an AWS ARC associate and an MS and Azure expert, but I don't have much to combine with that to get my foot into cloud. Any suggestions?
Cloud is not my thing. I would ask the brother Theo Woff about that. That's his thing. I have a few students that have done it, and they've taken my skill set and mixed it with what Theo teaches and been able to make some real money. Like sometimes I've heard some real crazy numbers with some of these guys. So, but I don't want to speak on something like that. I know you can make crazy money with AWS and Azure, and I know that too. So all these skill sets are six-figure skill sets, all of them. The one you just, all those you named, you're in a good area, brother. Especially because I was just talking about the Azure certification for data engineers, and somebody with north of 5-6 years is going to get 250,000. That's what I'm seeing consistently. And so I work two jobs now. So I'm like, well, if I work two jobs and I'm making 250 on each one, so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get that certification because that's a low hanging fruit for me. I already passed the first certification already, which is the data fundamentals introduction to, it was a DP 900. So now I'm doing the 203, which is next. And once I do that, I'm gonna guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna come back and offer it, and I'm gonna do it better than Microsoft because I've taken the Microsoft classes, and it's a waste of my time, and it costs thousands of dollars. But thank God, my job paid for it, so I can just click. Like this week, I'm taking half days because I'm taking a Microsoft class, and I'm just gonna sit here half the day. I'm still have the other job, but it's pretty laid back, and I'm gonna just sit here down in my basement, and I'm gonna try to make some sense of what they're talking about. But a lot of times with these companies, what they do is they just go through and point everything out, then they just skip on to the next subject. And then when you're done, it's like I remember, but I don't. Like unless you can write it down or record the video, it really won't help you. So you need somebody that's going to sit there with you for a matter of months while you slowly process the information, gain the understanding of it, practice, give you labs. When you're in class, they unmute. You can talk to them audibly, like you hear me talking. You'll be able to unmute in class and talk to me or the instructor. There was another question where someone was asking, who's teaching the class? This class is being taught by one of my students who is a sister out of Philadelphia who I trained. She's been working 5 years now, but she's one of mine. She's one of the ones I trained, and I helped her. Now, what we do is we record interviews and everything. We let you guys listen to real live interviews so that when you go on these interviews, you're not, first of all, intimidated because you pretty much, I let students listen to like 6 or 7 different interviews from real companies with real students of mine. We record interviews. And when they're done, the students are like, oh, so I've been taking this class for like a month and I already kind of felt like I could answer half those questions. It never fails. I said, see there? So it's not as difficult as you make it. Now, what I did was took the more difficult part of the course and removed it and added more data visualization and changed it to data analytics instead of BI, which was ETL. And I kind of, so that's the part that I've removed.
Okay, so real quick, let me just say that. Uh, see, people blowing my phone up. It's crazy. I'm really tired of people blowing my phone up this week. All right, so listen, y'all. Here's the deal. When he said he's meeting people who got a cert but they're not in the job, again, that goes back to what am I talking about? Sub fear, and they don't have any backup money. Because if I'm a truck driver and I done got my certs, I'm getting up out this truck. If you telling me you're gonna give me 140 and I can go sit down, but what do I need to go get up out this truck? I need to have what? Either a credit card, or I need to have some money saved where my bills are paid up, or I need to have my apartment paid up. This is why you see people who get these certs, but they're not in the job yet, because one, they're not practicing interviews, two, they're not changing their LinkedIn, three, they're not on the phone every day talking to people on job interviews.
Yeah,
That's
there's
why.
a rhythm. There's a
There's a
rhythm to it.
rhythm.
Yeah, like my students when they first get out there, they're a little nervous, and they record, and I tell them, look, you're not going to get this job. They said they'll call you back. You're probably not going to get it. Why is that? Because you said this, and it has nothing to do with you understanding the actual constructs of a language or understanding how the functionality works within a certain development platform. It really has to do with your understanding of the everyday workflow of within an environment. That is much more important. That skill of working within a scrum agile environment and understanding how to operate that. And most of the time when you go in these interviews for some strange reason, because it's not that difficult to learn, but for some strange reason, people want to know that you understand that. And so I give my students little nuggets like that. I give them, when they ask them about SQL, I tell them about performance tuning and how to really, and I tell them how to walk the people through how they would performance tune a report, which would probably, if it's ran by a stored procedure, you open that up, and these are the things I give them, all the weapons. And so when they go in the interview, the students pick the weapons they want to use, and they get jobs. And so that's what it is. That's what I do. I download that into my students. Shout out to Anthony right there. That's one of my students right there.
So again, self-made put here. Thank you for the $5 super chat. So do you think interdisciplinary skills are the future, like accounting and data science, analytics and UX, or finance with blockchain experience?
Man,
Y'all asking loaded questions today
yeah,
for sure.
I really have to think about that, man. That's what I would have to think about. Guys, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all the truth, man. I'm a little country boy from Alabama, man. I just know what I know, and I know how to get people 6-figure jobs. That's what I know. I know how to give you a skill set. From there, these some of this stuff y'all know about, I don't even know what you're talking about. And if I were to, just because I'm in IT, I ain't gonna just come on here and act like I'm an authority on every subject and I
Oh,
know
for
every.
sure.
I don't
For
do that.
sure.
I'm a real guy. I tell the truth. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. When you call me on the phone for a consult, I'm gonna call you. What's up, man? Let's talk. Let's see what we can do to help you get a job. That's it. So for me, I know blockchain pays very well. I know data analytics. That's what I'm teaching. Data science analytics. I don't know how to look that up, but accounting, obviously, like my brother is Oracle Financials, that easily 500,000 just for one job. Then he been doing that since the 90s. So because he worked directly for Oracle. So he was in high demand back in the 90s. I've seen him make like 300-400 a year a lot of times just by just doing a little side gig on the side. So he'll get $170 an hour or something crazy like that. Um, me, I was just happy to get $40 when I first got started. Because like I said, I was, man, look, I flipped houses. I was doing real well for myself, but for a while I was broke, unemployed. And for me, getting 50, getting 16, 1700, $2,000 a week was enough to put me back where I needed to be. So, I really probably wouldn't be the best person to answer that question. And I just don't want to pull something out of my, just to try to sound intelligent, because that's not what I'm here to do. I'm trying to help people.
For sure. Listen, everybody in tech doesn't know everything. There's been sometimes I've done shows with Tamika on here. I've done shows with Chris Johnson. I'll go ask my friend over here who's making 192 a year out here in Austin, and he's like, I don't even know nothing about that. I'm in this. So everybody that's in tech doesn't know everything, and so that's why I keep telling y'all, if y'all gonna ask people questions, see what they're in first, because you asking people questions that got out of tech, and they was just a help desk worker, they were just a customer service person. Are you asking people questions that ain't, they're not deep into those levels? So again, DJ
I'm
Cadillac,
gonna
this
put
is
it like
correct.
this: you can look at the
Women
average.
don't negotiate.
You can look at the average data analytics job, and I did it on my channel the other day. And the average data analytics job, we was looking at 120,000, 110 something. I can't remember what the number was. And it was in high demand. It was listed on top 10. Let me see if I still got that window open.
I was gonna
Uh,
say DJ Cadillac said something about women not negotiating well. This is widely known. We had a friend here in Austin in tech, and we're like, "Why are you working a part-time job?" And then she asked her coworker how much he was making. He was making $30,000 more than her. Of course, she's mad now. She goes to the office. She's about to go up on them, like have a moment. And they're like, "Well, how about we're gonna promote you to manager, and we're gonna bump you?" She said, "So basically, you gonna bump me up to my right pay that you was already supposed to pay me, make me a manager. Okay, if I'm a manager, I really am supposed to get not 30,000, but $50,000 bumping up in pay." And so she eventually ended up leaving that company because she was trying to wait to be vested for 3 years. But this is very common when women don't negotiate, they don't get good opportunities. They don't get good options out of the deal. So
and that's it. Now, what we're looking at right here with this data analysis, I was actually way off by about $80,000. It's $193,000
mhm.
average. It says, speaking of skills,
Zoom in,
being
zoom your page
okay.
in.
Hold on.
You got it though. I can see it. Just zoom in. And if you guys are liking the content, drop a one in the comments, please.
Right here, so right here says you don't need an advanced degree. Look, I got people with high school diplomas. I can play that on the website. I got people that did that. But right here it says, speaking of skills being the new currency for employment and advancement, the average salary for job titles that require data analytics skills is $195,385 according to salary.com. Let me say this. When I first moved to Atlanta some years ago and I was just getting into tech, I remember I was living in Sandy Springs and I would see these $900,000 houses. I would see these ridiculously high houses. And part of me was like, okay, are these people working a job? And these people had jobs. I was like, what type of job allows you to afford a $900,000 house? Like what does that job pay? And and I was in IT thinking this. But if a married couple, you got two people making $200,000 a year, that's actually pretty feasible for you to be able to pay $6,000, $7,000 a month on a mortgage or something with interest rates right now. But that's what I'm talking about. I mean, this is what we're talking about is just really empowerment and putting you in a position where you can make the informed decision as to where you want to go.
I love it. I love it. Can y'all hear me? Sorry, it was acting weird. Thank you, Greg Yoma, for the $5 super chat. Somebody said I should have did this instead of nursing. Yeah, touching them people make you tired. Um, Someone said you could be a health analyst for 140K a year and never go near the hospital, making 7K a month. I like that. Where's the other thing? We keep going. Listen, DJ Cadillac. I get what you're trying to do, boo. I really do. I'm not. I just don't need a negative patty in my chat all day. I'm in tech and I get it. We get it. You're in tech. You're saying people need experience, but how can people get experience? We already know. Unfortunately, Black and Latino people are extra scaredy cats about starting new things. I don't need negative chatty patties in my chat.
My students don't have experience and they get
They don't
jobs
have experience and they get
and
jobs.
they making $100,000.
They got
So
to get their foot in the door.
yeah, it's just it's a
Chill
myriad of
out.
ways, angles you can take to get a job. It's not, and I'm not. I'm sure the brother knows what he's talking about. I'm not trying to argue with him. I'm just saying in general, just
The
about
fear.
every one of my students had no experience. We over $6 million a year in annual salaries. So I'm something's going on. So And I used to think that, oh, well, no, I can't get no job without no experience. How you gonna help people? But then it just started happening. People started getting jobs. So I have a few angles that we take to help people get jobs. So it's not certifications, although we will teach on Salesforce certifications. We actually doing that next month. We're gonna start a class for that, which I'll probably bring Sean back. And then we're gonna do a front end development class with one of my former students who's went out and got a lot of JavaScript skills and stuff like that. So he wants to come back and teach. That'll probably be March.
Okay, so this is not a democracy. This is a dictatorship. I mean, I know y'all don't believe that, but so I'm going to put you in timeout because this isn't a democracy. This is the dictatorship. Okay, so let me go ahead and go here. It's better. Nonstop Dre 360 said, "Is it better to get an A plus or security plus first if you want to do cybersecurity, and you're a military veteran with the active secret clearance? Any advice?"
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. A plus, security plus are like getting your feet in the door skill sets. Those are that's when you're probably gonna start at 20, $15, $20 an hour. Um, and like, A plus certification was one of the requirements for the Geek Squad at Best Buy. And they wouldn't give me a job. They would not even talk to me. And I had a bachelor's degree and I knew Java and C++, and they wouldn't even look at me. Right? Like I understand I know I'm comfortable around a computer, but they didn't care. Some jobs like these, some security clearance, like of course, if you're talking about getting a government job, those are pretty much a must in a lot of times when you're trying to get in it, unless you're doing something different that has nothing to do. Like I worked on a General Dynamics project and I didn't have to have any of that. And they were paying me pretty good. I was working on a database though. I was working as doing PL/SQL on a database. And the funny thing about a government job, I just sat there 9 months surfing the web. They never gave me my NAC clearance. It was just, I was just sitting there for 9 months getting paid every Friday, direct deposit. And it was just a waste of government funds. Also, when I first got there, they bought 2 servers. So 2 servers broke down my first week. I tried to help them get the servers put together. And they said, no, we have to go through Hewlett Packard, but we have a contract with them. And they spent $50,000 for some servers I found on the internet for $1,500. Older versions, mind you, but still they were refurbished, they didn't want them. They wanted they had to go get brand new Hewlett Packard servers. So it's a lot of money out here, in other words. There's a lot of money
The
out there.
government's hurry up and wait.
Oh, yeah.
The government's old school. Let's hear it and wait. Let's do it this way. Wasting time knowing a regular business could never run like that. Raw Trucking said, I don't have a college degree, but I'm a veteran. I use my veteran program to get into my tech role with no experience.
Yeah, I mean,
Y'all
the
wear
thing
me
about,
out.
let me say this about the thing about experience. I mean,
Right.
I saw the brother say, he don't know what he's talking about. I'm not saying that, brother. I don't know you. I don't know what your experiences have been. I just know I've been able to get, uh, I don't know how many offers for my students and they making real good money. So we know, I don't know what it is. And I'm going to show you and demonstrate it in a second I'm going to let you listen to something that I have on my phone with these brothers. I recorded a phone call, but I'm just telling you, it's feasible. It is feasible. I got a brother a job in Benin, West Africa, with no experience, and they paid a visa for him to fly into Canada. He had never left his country before.
It's out there.
Shout out to Ian. What's up, Ian? That's one of them
Ian
right there.
Roberts says, Sub will get you right. He's saying, it changed my life. Former student.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. And look, man. I mean, look. I don't make any guarantees, but if you come and put the work in, man, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. Just follow directions. Every student knows. They probably got sick of me saying that. Follow directions. Follow directions. If you don't follow directions, you're like, man, he's so a stickler on following direct. Yes, that's exactly what I am.
Follow this. Listen, what's funny about you saying follow the directions? Me and my boo went to a conference, and literally the guy was like, "Just follow the directions." Even Eric Hop Tomer preacher came on stage, and he was like, "When people say, 'What should I be doing next?' What does the plan say? Just follow the plan, y'all." Y'all stop it. I asked my cousin. I asked my grandma. I asked my cousin Judy Booty. Like you doing too many steps. The steps are get the cert, change your LinkedIn, practice on the interviews, Answer your phone, get that Hotmail, Gmail out of here. Answer your phone, do the interviews. Keep it simple, y'all. Get the information and go. Keep it simple. Okay.
And somebody
Somebody.
said is location an issue. Let me say one thing real quick.
Okay.
Location, if you're in like, let's say I'm from Montgomery, Alabama, right? If you get a job, there are jobs in Selma, Alabama that I get calls for. I get calls for jobs in Dothan, but these aren't really major tech hubs. So if you're in a place where you're like, well, I'm living in this place and I just don't see that many jobs, and well, guess what? If you one of the few people that have the skill set that we have, and you know SQL, and you'll get that call from that person within your. Now, that might be months. Like, you might have to go to another part of the state, but and also on the other side of that pendulum, when it swings, a lot of jobs, I'm gonna say most, but probably about half of the jobs now are remote. After COVID, people don't go back to offices anymore. So, you still can get your rate and be sitting at home, which is the best of both worlds to me. Uh, this
He said, "Is there a cutoff age into entry level jobs?" Y'all know how I feel about ageism, but
well,
go ahead.
yeah, I don't think that. I don't think so. But I mean, I've taught people in their 50s, and I've taught people in their 40s, and I taught people in their 30s and 20s. Nobody in their 60s that I can remember. But what I'm gonna say is this: I mean, man, people don't care, man. Especially if it's a remote job. Now, I'm gonna tell you like this. This has been my personal experience. I think entry level jobs are actually harder to get than more senior level jobs. Junior, senior, even I wouldn't even say a junior job. Junior and entry level jobs are actually more competitive than somebody that needs a regular mid level or senior guy. They're actually, so most of my students get mid to senior jobs. They don't get they don't even, I tell them, look, man, those jobs are harder. Some students do get junior developer, like the guy from Benin, West Africa was a junior, and he had a junior developer position. But a lot of people don't get, that's just the way it works.
So right here, Journey to Jasmine, who's one of my best, she said, "I got my experience by trying and getting a job at a startup, which gave me my experience. Just start somewhere. There's 1,000 ways to skin a cat, my papa used to tell me." Journey to Jasmine, salute. She listened to us on the Tech Tuesdays and got a job, man. Sharonica said, "I'm looking forward to Salesforce training next month with lifting the veil." K Business said, "I go to a Nigerian church. 4 Nigerians came to USA about 2 years ago. One making 150,000, three making 250,000 because they worked 2 jobs in cybersecurity. Them Nigerians gonna be paid, okay? They gonna be
They
paid.
not come. Notice they not coming over here to work at the Geek Squad and
They
get
ain't
an
coming
A
over here
plus.
to cry and
Yeah. So
oh
I had
racist.
an Indian tell me, I was on a project with a guy. He told me a lot of secrets. One of the secrets he told me, he said, man, we don't come over here to America for the little small, $40,000 jobs. We want the 100,000 or more. That's what we're coming for. That's what they want. And they come over here, they get their visas. These companies are willing to pay for a visa, which when you pay the lawyer and pay for all that stuff, you have to show where they're gonna live. You have to show all that for these visas, right? These companies are willing to do all that because of the guy's skills. And you telling me somebody right here in America that has the same culture, same language, even if you're black, you have more in common than somebody way from India, and I'm not trying to disparage anybody from India, obviously. But culturally, some of them don't wear deodorant. It's just a different culture. So those people, they're willing to come and bring those people here because a lot of us, specifically African Americans, lack the skills. That's just the way it works.
I don't even have to argue with y'all. Y'all already know this is just true. These are spot on points. You already know it. Kay said they came with no experience. They took IT classes and they're making 6 figures. That's just what it is. As a security clearance goes straight into analytics, they pay 200K easy. Thank you, Engineering Cannabis. I'm a Salesforce consultant. The program is called Vet Force, hiring our heroes. That's very good. Let me see. Someone said I just turned down General Dynamics last week for senior roles, developer position at $63 an hour. Good gracious. You don't need experience to build a website for yourself or someone you know built knows business and do side projects the recruiters like. So for those of you asking about
Well, when you come to Lifting the Veil,
experience,
I'm gonna have you doing like projects. You're gonna know how to do certain things. So that will be experienced. But I mean, I had a little situation a while ago. I don't even want to get into that, but there are benefits to coming to the academy, because I kind of one on one. It just depends on you and what direction you want to go in, and from there, man, we can really get the party going. So I've got students that get jobs that didn't even finish the course. I've had that happen like 3 or 4 times, where students just got a job offer. He was working at a company, and just mentioned to one of the guys in the other department in the lunch in the cafeteria, yeah, I'm learning ETL, business intelligence, SSRS. I'm learning in transact. He said, what? Really? We're looking for somebody. Come over here. And the guy got like a $6,000 raise. They switched him to another department, and he was working physical labor. And just talked to the guy, and the guy was interested. They asked him some questions, and guess what? He knew the answers to like SQL questions, and they looked at each other like, "Man, we got us one right here, right up under our noses," you know. And now that brother left, and he done doubled his money, doubled. He making double what they were paying him now. He worked there. That was 2021. He left. He called me last year, so he probably worked there about a year in that department. Then he left.
I love it. It says, listen, so true regarding directions. I tell my young children, just follow the instructions. Instructions are easy. um, Tech is the easy way to make sticky figures in your underwear without doing anything inappropriate. Let me see. Just follow the plan. Y'all just follow the plan. Like I know several. I think I told you this already, Bill. I think I told you this. But this guy has a investment fund, simple passive cash flow. He's an engineer. They bought 37 apartment complexes and mobile home parks in the past 4 years. Guess what? The majority of everybody that's in there, they're tech folks. They're just chunking 50K that they got set aside with him with all these syndications over and over and over again. But that's when you make high income. You and your wife make high income. You get to have the opportunity to go into different types of investments, and you're gonna meet other people in the same category as you. So if you need a break, you can get a break, right? Again, a lot of this stuff is follow the plan, y'all. Keep it simple. Um, Let me see what else y'all had in here. He said the deodorant. I've heard stories. Well, I've heard stories at work. Let me see. Y'all have a lot. How long is the course, Mr. Subzero?
3 to 4 months. Most of my courses are 3 to 4 months. We don't try to go now. We had an Oracle class go 8 months one time, but my brother taught like all 12 modules of Oracle financials. It was crazy. But
It was
we
long.
yeah, it was long, but it was he taught a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, but the other courses are just 3 to 4 months, which is usually what I want to give. You can't get. I ain't saying you can't get, but somebody that doesn't have that mindset, that hadn't been doing it that long, you don't want to get them into a grind of a 9 month journey to two years, a year and a half. That person can give you 3 4 months of just give me 3 solid months following directions, doing exactly what I say, and I promise you, when you come out on the other side of those 3 to 4 months, you will be competent.
I love it. So this is the website, you guys. You can see a lot here. I mean, sorry, let me put this thing off. Sorry. Uh oh. Hold on. Gonna click on this real quick. It says I started packing boxes in Amazon FC, promoted to L1 to L4, IT engineering. I'm earning close to 80K, but no certs yet. At age 44, in less than 4 years in all places. Utah. Don't let media scare you about layoffs. Thank you, Frida James. You guys, she don't got no certs. She in Utah. Y'all be worried about everything, but just get in the dough. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Let me go over the website. Right here, this is lifting the veil. And right here, you got lifting the veil. You got over here, you can scroll down here. As you scroll down, you'll see Booker T. Washington quote. You see right here, Mr. Bill Green, supermodel. Okay. Talking about data analytics. Look at this is a long list. I ain't even gonna read all this to
That's
y'all.
just the Tableau section. We actually, I should have changed it. I got Power BI as well. We're
Yeah.
gonna do that. So yeah.
You got a lot on here, y'all. Graduates, the graduates, you got what the graduates are saying on here. Definitely come check this out website out for yourselves. Come see about his services. Um, again, book a consultation with Mr. Bill. Talk
Yeah,
directly with him,
the
right?
consult is free. So
Consult is free.
yeah, I don't
You can
charge
book it.
anything. These are the prices, obviously. Monthly
Data analytics
297.
track,
Yeah.
silver track,
Yeah,
perfect for the
silver
self-paced
membership is
learner.
just silver membership is just recordings of Salesforce, Power BI. But a lot of the information in there is packed with information in those classes. So of course it might be like an hour and a half, 2 hour recording, each one of them, but it's a lot of information
It's
in there.
worth it.
It's not just what you'll get on Udemy, right?
Mhm.
Udemy's not going to tell you about what to do when a lady came to you and screamed at you at the top of her lungs one time, which is what I actually had happen on my second week of a job because I didn't give her a report request. And I didn't even know how to do it because they had this like proprietary application where you enter the information and it spits out a spreadsheet. And so I was like, I don't know how to do this. And she submitted a ticket, and there's a queue, which means any developer can get it. But she came and screamed the top of her lungs off at me, and nobody said anything. She didn't get a write up. She didn't get anything. I was like, wow, you know, I didn't know how to handle it. I was scared. I was shook. Knowing what I know now, I would have went straight to HR and like, I demand something to be done. She just disrespected me. She'd have got a write up for that.
HR
Yeah,
all
but I
day.
didn't do that. I didn't
I'd have
even
been
go to
like,
HR, which is
I'm
what I should have
scared.
did.
I'm scared for my life. I'm
Yeah,
scared to show up at work.
but see,
I
if a
have
student called
nightmares
me
of
and
her
tell me that
hollering at
now,
me.
if a student calls me and tell me that now, I say you go straight to HR. I don't care if you're a contractor, and you tell them what happened. Also, I've had students call me after interviews, and the recruiters were rude to them and told and just sent them a real rude email. One of my students, I was mad as hell. I was like, I almost wanted to call him. I wanted to call the number, like, how dare you? But I didn't. And I just told him, like, look, you didn't do anything wrong. He went on the interview, he bombed on the interview, and the recruiter got so upset that he insulted him. And I was just like, come on, brother, he was hurt about it. But I was like, man, don't worry about it. It happened. Everybody gets blowed out of the water in the interview. It happens. I don't care who you are. You will get blowed. Somebody, you go to interview and they'll ask you some old crazy. I don't know the answer to that one. I can think of some weird. I try to give you those crazy questions so that the ones I've encountered where somebody tried to get me one time on this or somebody tried this one time on me. Make sure if they ask you this is the answer. Make sure because that, and I guess what? I had 3 students get jobs like that where they tried to ask them about a recursive CTE in order. What they did was they did a table with the code. It was an ID, a name, and another code. The code was the code of the mother. And so it was like, okay, so show me all the grandmothers. And it was like, so I said, look, you use a recursive CTE. This is the code right here. I've given that to all my students just in case because I got shook on a job one time on an interview because somebody asked me that. Well, fast forward, a brother got the interview. He would say he thought he wasn't doing too well. And the last question was that. And he killed it. He said, man, I knocked it out the park. They made an offer like literally an hour and a half later. I got a phone call. So that's the thing.
Also, thank you, Sally W, for the 1999 super sticker. Someone asked again, how many months for the data analytics course?
3 to 4 months.
3 to 4 months. And I'm putting the link inside the chat for those who are asking for the link. I've been putting it in there. I'll put it in there some more. Someone said, please write down everything that took place and keep a trail when somebody acting crazy with y'all. Y'all know how to write these people up, man. Someone said I started in support and within 1 year I'm at 60K. I'm pretty sure with support you can get more, but I'm just in case. Get some more monies. Um, Bill, talk to us. What are some things you're hoping for your students this year? And what are some things, because you had like last time you had a tech recruiter, former guy who was a tech recruiter in here. You've had several great teachers.
Yeah, let me say this. What I'm looking for this year is to expand what we offer. I want to go into all different types of disciplines and not just be one discipline. So that once you go in and you get a job, you then come back and you have the subscription. The beautiful thing about Lifting the Veil is you can go home at night, click a video and click a link and join a class with a guy who has X amount of years of experience. You can ask questions, you can talk to him, you can get those experiences that a lot of people don't get. You know what I'm saying? And that's for me is the main thing. I want to try to just expand it that way. And I'm gonna just keep going every month. I'm just gonna keep doing a new class. I don't care if it's 5 people in there. I'm just gonna keep going, keep till I get it where it needs to be. Um, and I'm just gonna just take that opportunity to, bless as many people as I can. You mind if I play this interview? I mean, this commercial.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
And someone
so
said they
I mean,
just booked
not
the consult.
commercial.
You guys, the consults are free. You can go and book them.
Yeah, book a free consult. We can talk. We can talk.
You
In
want
fact, I
you want
put
to
the
play this
phone number in.
testimonial right here?
Uh, we go to the one at the bottom. That's and
Okay,
I'll
hold on.
tell you about this guy at the very bottom. He's one of my
At the bottom,
uh
going down to the
at
bottom.
scroll down, yeah.
You know more? Some more?
I quadruple my income, brother. Him.
Okay, let me make sure the audio plays. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, this is Johnny. I took one of Sub's classes. I'm a graduate, and right now I just started my first job. I quadruple my income. 1 week paycheck can make what I used to make in a month. Um, it started off real easy. Um, the work ain't. It's not like I'm breaking my back lifting things like I was in my other jobs. Um, it's all due to Sub and his guidance and mentorship. Um, and it just my life has changed. Honestly, my life is completely changed. Um, I wouldn't have been able to do it on my own. I just like to say thank you, and I appreciate it. I appreciate everything that Sub's done for me, and he's doing for all the other students in the class. Everybody needs to realize and know that your life for yourself and your family can change and just develop and mold. They're my new positions asking me to learn a couple of new languages and start working. Start adding get taking more responsibility, and I'm only a couple of weeks in, so um, things are very good. um, I, like I said, I couldn't have done it without Sub and his guidance. Everything that he taught us, um, it's just coming to me easy on the job. It's coming to very easy on the job. I'm not sweating, breaking my back. It's fun, and I can take care of it. It's no sweat.
All right, brother. Well, I'm proud of you and congratulations, man. So and that's it. You ain't had to play the whole thing. I just wanted to let don't mind you let that be played. You there?
I don't.
Yeah.
Yes, I
So
can hear you. I just want to make sure they can hear it too.
yeah, and that that brother, may he rest in peace. That brother actually passed away in a seizure when he was sleeping. I was really heartbroken by that. Now that
Oh
brother
my God,
was
I'm so
well,
sorry.
listen. This brother was making $24,000 working at a some sort of factory. Right? He had a high school diploma. Okay, this brother. Well, when I tell you, it was amazing. I was like, this dude is gifted. Before we got through with class, I remember I taught class, and then I'd say about a month in, I started noticing, man, this dude is on point. Like, I mean, he is. And I was telling him, I was like, bro, you are good. The whole class, I was like, that's right, Johnny. Tell me. And he was answering all the questions. I was like, man. And I was all, and so he got so good. My lady was like, who is that? That guy's gonna be good. And he had read the book, outlined it. He did everything, man. And then he got out, went on a couple of interviews, got blew out of the water, and then he messed around and got that job. That was his first job. He called me real happy and excited. And he had taught himself Java, not Java, JavaScript. And he was playing around with the JavaScript and was able to do that at that job. Now, after a month and a half, they let him go. And he's one of the people one of my students that actually did get terminated. But he was upset when he called me. But I was like, bro, honestly, looking at your resume and looking at what they had you doing, that was just bad management. And that does happen from time to time. But I've only had about 3 students actually get terminated. So it's not often. But the ones that get terminated, usually it's one of those situations like another student got terminated. because somebody sent him an email and wanted him to build functionality within the application. And whenever he would try to reach out through Microsoft Teams, they would have an attitude and angry and didn't want to talk to him. And then they complained because he didn't complete it in time. But he got it done, though. Because he called me. We kind of put our heads together. We figured it out. He got it done, but they still let him go. So, I mean, you're going to have situations like that. But the overwhelming majority of my students, I'd say probably 95, 98%, somewhere in there, they don't have those problems. You know, but every once in a while you run into bad hiring managers. It happens. It's not always if a person gets terminated that it was their fault. Sometimes it's just, man, you see my resume. That's like if I hire a 6-year-old, not a 6-year-old, but somebody. If I hire somebody to do something that's a carpenter, and I tell them to paint, or if I hire a painter to do some plumbing, like, well, he don't really do plumbing. He kind of might dabble with it a little bit, but you don't really do that. And yet you want to make that 85% of their job, which is what they did to these brothers. So, you know, and look, they
Thank you
called
for sharing that, though.
They
So people
actually
know.
called me. I'm gonna tell you the funny thing. They called me and they said, "Well, man, I'm upset. I got let go. I'm this, I'm that." And I said, "Man, look, you made. I think he was there for 6. I think he made like about, I don't know, about 60." He said, "I said, how much money you saved?" He said, "I had like $12,000." I said, "You done saved up $12,000 that you didn't have. You was making a what, $25,000 a year. You done saved up $12,000. You got money in the bank. You have experience." I said, "Did you get any phone numbers of your coworkers?" "Yeah." "Were they cool?" "Yeah, they said they'll help me out." I was like, "How did you lose? What did you lose in this case?" I said, "Because right now, your phone is gonna ring off the hook just like it's always been doing. And now you have real references from a company that you work with. You have experience. You're that much more experienced. You're that much. Guess what? The brother took off like a bird leaving the nest, man. I'm talking about he was working, and when he passed away, had just got another gig making over 100 and some odd thousand. And me and him were talking about doing things, and when I heard it, it really broke my heart because I was like, "What?" I didn't believe it at first that he passed away, but because he was a young cat and he just had a little girl, had his girlfriend, and he was just hurt, man. And it just I knew he had some health problems, and he just passed away in his sleep.
Yeah, that's real sad, but at least he got to experience a high in his life, right? He got to change careers, make money, feel great. Um, some people gonna be out here in fear mode for the next 30 years, unfortunately, till they leave, right?
Let me
So
go ahead. I'm gonna play that commercial for you. I'm sorry.
go ahead.
All right. All right, guys. So we here. I'm recording now. So I got Thad, I got Charles, and I got Landreas, and you brothers really helped each other out. You guys came through lifting the veil. I guess I'll start with Charles and then go to Thad and then Landreas, and we'll just talk about it. So Charles, you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah, brother. So just tell us about it. Tell us about your story. Like, how did you get your job? What was it like?
Man, well, I gotta say, I went to the LTV Academy. It was about maybe a 4-5 month process. In that process, I was able to learn SQL, SQL, as well as some different softwares like SSIS and SSRS. Through the process, we actually started a 3-man study group as well. We met in the evenings on the opposite days that we didn't meet for class. That's one thing I forgot to mention. I think we met for class 3 times a week for about an hour or so. And our study group met on the remaining days. We just kind of pushed together, worked with each other, and anything we didn't understand, we just worked together to really work that out. We passed through Sub's course. I think we got done in October. We really jumped into interviewing best we could.
And it's January. It's January. All 3 of you guys have 6-figure jobs, right?
Yeah. We finished in October. I got my job within 3 weeks. Dad had his job within a month. And because of the holidays, it took Andreas just another couple weeks later.
Okay. So now we're gonna go to Thad. Are you there, bro?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
All right, bro. So what was your experience? What did you think of the whole process?
Man, it's one of the most
fulfilling courses that I've ever completed. Lifting the Veil IT Academy has opened the door for me in so many ways. I was telling my brother the other day, after recruiters keep calling, I said, I'll never have to worry about employment again. And this process took about 5 months, as Charles alluded to earlier. And we really studied. We studied hard. Each and every day, we would call each other. Even when we weren't in class at night during the daytime, we text each other questions, ask each other questions. And if we needed some help, Sub was available. And another great resource of the LTV Academy that hasn't been mentioned probably is the alumni and the students who completed the course before. They're all eager to help each other out. If you take LTV Academy, not only do you have Sub as a resource, but you got everyone else who has completed the class, who is in the field working, and we are more than happy to reach out and help you out. If you have any questions, if anything you're struggling with, hey, reach out to us. And LTV Academy has my full and complete endorsement. And anytime when someone asks me about my education, I list the college I graduated from, and of course, LTV Academy. So if you think that if you're looking for a new career change and you want to make some more money, LTV Academy is the place to be, guaranteed.
Hey, man. That's it, bro. I think what we take for granted is that you guys, the students come together. And I always encourage you guys, hey, man, reach out to each other. And, it's a good thing to see brothers come together, man. And Landreas, me and him I talked to Landreas about 2 or 3 times a day. Like, we kept touching bases. But, Landreas, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. So, one last time, man, I guess I know I didn't ask you a couple of times. We done talked about it. So you were the final guy, and which actually helped you based on why was it a benefit that that your teammates had already been through that same process with the same company?
So first and foremost, I like.
When he talks, it's gonna be a little choppy, but one thing I wanted to add, the last brother that came in actually had he interviewed with the other company, and his homeboy had interviewed. He already had the questions, so it was like he didn't really have to worry about nothing. It was already kind of, and I love that because that's what they do with like Indians. What they do is they have brain dumps, and they'll go and take a certification 50 times, get all the questions, dump them in a location, and they go in there and they got the answers already. Like this is how you win. It's a team sport sometimes. Sometimes you need to be able to pass the ball and set a screen, and make a V cut and go back door. Look for the alley. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So I love what these brothers did because I always tell my students when they're in class, look, man, y'all need to start some study sessions. Y'all need to be getting together. Y'all need to be doing this. Get to know each other. Get each other's phone numbers. I encourage that because it's only going to lead to more of you guys getting jobs. Because one thing about mastermind groups and why mastermind groups work, and Ericka, you can validate this if I'm wrong. Mastermind groups work oftentimes because it's so many people in there and everybody's kind of holding each other accountable. That's like mastermind groups statistically do way better than if you try to do something on your own. Am I correct?
You are quite correct. I keep quoting my 2019 mastermind I went to. I would tell you pretty much 55 of the people that were in there, every single one of those people hit that millionaire mark, did really successful things because of that pushing, that energy, that okay, everybody's doing this, everybody's getting their credit checked, everybody's getting new 100K round of funding, everybody's going to do this. I mean, it's really an energy push. And so also there's an accountability. Even when I'm in my digital real estate courses and I'm asking people, hey, have you put your product out yet? Have you done this? Have you done that? It's a big push from the group. And so I just encourage y'all to do this because what happens to most people, you know what I'm saying? They I got this idea, I'm gonna do this. You tell your wife, you tell your cousin, you tell your brother, your sibling, they like, why are you doing that? You got the energy pushing against you. That's why you need to be in an accountability group where if you struggle on a question, you struggle on a lesson, you struggle somewhere, you can immediately go talk to people in your group and get pulled back in. I mean, I went to a conference, and then 2 days later, they was already talking about something else. And I'm like, wait a minute, we just left a conference. Y'all need to be talking about 1, 2, 3, and that's it. People are easy to fall off track. Distractions will get you. So it just works better. Live, personal training, accountability works better. Sub, let me tell you right this. Can you see this right here? Xanatos Clutch. false advertising. The position description and the country's warm reception is why I'm about to go somewhere else. But the skills I have gained and why I can do that in a fairly amount of shorter time. So basically, he went somewhere and someone, false advertised to him as well. That unfortunately happens though.
But yeah, I think he's sound like he might be in another country. Is he?
Yeah, he's over in Asia.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Left
now,
the
it's
West Coast
funny.
for some Asia.
It's funny because I had a student in Singapore that I trained and he got a job. I got that testimony. I have to dig it up, but I mean, I lose a lot of them. But this brother got a job in Singapore, and then I think he was going to Taiwan last time I saw him. Look, man, you cannot discount just there I say group economics. It's almost like a Black Wall Street because I got so many different people doing well within my network now and these are students, but I got so many students doing stuff I've never touched. Like I got one guy that's in trucking now. He done bought some trucks. He came through my class he's one of my earlier students. He done bought some trucks. Now I was like, oh, he got trucks on the road while he's working. Then I got another brother started a construction company and he's working 2 jobs and he just got married. So it's people.
Look, that brother busy.
Yeah,
he said, "I'm trying to live all the life."
Yeah, I think he moved to Tennessee last time. I need to call my brother, man. I ain't talked to him in a minute. This was this like my very first student, and let me tell this story. I gotta tell this story, man. So I taught the first class. Back then, I just charged $400, period, because I really didn't care. I was just trying to help people, and it was just a labor of love. I wasn't doing it for the money because I could make more than that on a little side gig somewhere. But I said, you know what? Let me do it. So I taught the students night in, night out, right? And then what wound up happening around, like, I'd say the end of the midway through the first class, I wound up saying, man, I need to teach 5 days a week. This ain't gonna get it. So I started doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning because obviously nigga might get drunk on Saturday night, Friday. Sometimes, somebody have a little fun. So I ain't want to teach on Friday night. You gonna rarely see us teach on Fridays. We don't do that. Saturday mornings, if we do a Saturday, it's gonna be late Saturday morning, not at no 7 o'clock. But anyway, he decided I redid the class and I didn't charge any of the students. I said, man, I'm gonna do it for free. If you're an old student, you ain't got to give me another dime, right? I taught the whole class over. So I taught these people twice because I didn't know. I felt like I didn't know what I was doing, right? So by the time I did it the second time, I started figuring some things out, how to do it better. And finally, the students passed my interview process. Now, the interviews were very difficult. Well, actually were easier back then than they were than I made them because I had to figure out, like I had students get jobs and they didn't know how to do certain things. And so I said, man, I got to fix this. So I changed it. But anyway, long story short, the day that my homeboy Mark, which is my first student to ever get a job, called me. He said, man, I just did an interview. It went real well. Now they want me to come in and talk to them. I said, brother, you got that job. He's like, you serious? I said, man, you got it, bro. You did it. I said, whenever they tell you, okay, you did good and you passed the tech aspect of it, they ask you all the tech questions and you ace that piece, you in there, right? He called me when he was going down and he was, man, I'm nervous, but I've been praying. I said, bro, you're going to be all right. I tell you what, just call me when you get out, right? So while I'm waiting on him to come out of the interview when he met with those people, there was another student that took the first class and he took the second class for free. And I noticed every time I would do something wrong or say something, he would always giggle or try to make me like I ain't know what I was talking about. And there was a little Google group that they had where all of them were chatting and he was dragging me, talking about me like a dog. I wasn't in the group. And so when the student kind of included me, one of the students called me and included me in the group, like, man, so-and-so over there talking about you like a dog, man, da, da, da. So I went in there and read the comments and it was heartwarming because the students was on his ass. They was on him, right? And I was like, okay, they got my back. But I still was mad. I was real upset because this guy, I'm like, dude, I charged you $400, taught you twice. And you still stabbing me in the back. You talking about me. Ain't nobody got no job. You don't know what you're doing. Da, da, da. And as soon as I read those comments, Mark called. And when he called me, he said, man, that's it, man. I start Monday. I was like, I said that ain't nothing but God. Because I didn't know at that time when I first started if I knew what I was doing. I'm like, is this gonna work? I didn't know. It was just I was just trying to help people. That's all. It was just and you can probably go back. Well, they deleted my channel, but I had videos on my channel where I was saying this is gonna be my last class. I'm not doing this. I wasn't thinking business. Actually, it was a conversation with you that changed that. But at first I was
You're welcome.
yeah, I was just doing it like sending out emails and with the link to the class. I didn't even have a website. I barely had a website. I had a little thrown together little, thing and with Malcolm X on the back of it. It just Black empowerment. I was just throwing something together. I didn't care because I was just trying to help people and I wasn't charging that much. And it wound up taking off, man. And here we are today, so that was something that really a story that really kind of always that brother's always a special brother to me, man. If I call Mark, like Mark, hey man, I can you teach class, man? Saturday, man, I ain't gonna be able to. Yeah, bro, I got you, bro, I got you. He cool, man. This brother, genuine brother, man. I really, really got mad love for. I got mad love for all my students, man. Real talk.
All right. So listen, you guys, man. Thank you, Sub. I mean, we're giving 100. We got an hour and 20 minutes here of just him answering questions. The website. Listen, you guys. He has a free consultation. Let's really take a leap of faith off the internet because everybody want to do everything on the internet. Never answer nobody. Never call nobody. Get on the phone. Get that free consultation and enjoy your life. You know what I'm saying? Let's get started. We put the link in the chat, the link in the description. Also, if you're on the 15,000 person email list, you will also be getting emails all this week on Tech Tuesday stuff. Don't worry, it's coming through. But again, Sub, thank you for this. It's hard being a teacher. It's hard trying to give people a gift and everybody isn't ready to receive it. That's why we out here marketing and producing content so we can get the right ears to hear what we have to say.
That's it. And I have a commercial that I got made by a celebrity. I want you to tell me who you think this is.
Okay.
Learn the ins and outs of IT and launch your IT career in just a matter of weeks with the help of Lifting the Veil IT Academy, an information technology academy that is created to help individuals quickly acquire the skills they need to launch an IT career that'll make them more money than ever could have imagined. Starting on January 23rd, Lifting the Veil will be offering weekly night classes covering everything you need to be successful in IT and beyond. And when we say beyond, we mean it. Just listen to what students say about us.
Hi, my name is Rakeem. I took Lifting the Veil Academy with Sub, and it took a while, but I'm here. I made it. I am now an SSRS developer. I started on the 13th, making a rate of $48 an hour. And, this is it. This works. Everything that Sub has said has come true without a shadow of a doubt.
Okay, my name is Herman. Herman, and I'm from Africa, Benin, West Africa. So I just landed a junior BI consultant position. So yeah. So my pay rate is a total package of 71,000 Canadian dollars.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Sabrina. I'm one of the students that was in the Lifting the Veil IT Academy course. Let me put this message out here to you. So I was teaching, done 20 years, frustrated, just wanted a new career. And I jumped into class, learned some amazing things about coding, learned that it's not as hard as you think it is, simple, you just need to practice. Loving what I do, have the opportunity to work from home. Yes, I took a step out and went on stage. That had it not been for this course and the leader of this course and the timing, I would not be doing what I want to do. Love what I do, love the people.
Sign up for a free consultation and see where this industry could take you.
Go to www. Yeah, so that was. Can you name that celebrity?
Looks like everybody in the comments talking about Joe Clark.
They used to call me Crazy Joe. That was my movie, but I love that movie.
For
You
sure, for
smoke
sure.
crack, don't you, boy? Like that's my movie, boy. But look, I thank you for the opportunity. Shout out to my boy
Sure.
Ant Man, Ant Johnson, the brother with the comment down there. That's one of my soldiers right there. Shout out to Python Dunn. That's another one of my students. That brother, he's a 6-figure earner, doing pretty well for himself. So look, man, we have the testimonials. We have people out here winning. And I thank all my students for having my back. People, everywhere I go, people show me love. I appreciate it. From your channel, Bernard Riley, and wherever I go, I get love, man. I really greatly appreciate it. I thank you, Ericka. You always had my back. You helped me, even in giving business advice. When I called, I think you would have, I ain't gonna say what, but you gave me you probably don't even remember the conversation. I do. I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. So certain things I took from it, and it's really helped me. So
For sure, man. For sure. Listen, I want everybody to prosper on the social media. I don't want us getting the crumbs of social media. And I don't want us to get any of the crumbs when it comes to tech. I don't want us to count ourselves out as not being able to do tech when I see all kind of folk doing tech. You know what I mean? English ain't even their first language. They doing tech. Let's not overcount that we can't get into this industry and make good money, because to me, I'd rather make 150 to 200K a year for 5 years and then decide if I want to go do something else. I go do something else. You know what I mean? So, all right, you guys,
by the
definitely
way,
book your
that's my
free.
phone number in the chat. By the way, I've been putting the phone number. You guys can call me directly because the calendar might be full if you go in there to try to schedule them.
Mm-hmm. Where you put it at?
It's right
it
there. I just been putting it in the chat. Yeah. So
I don't see it.
you don't see that phone
Have
number?
you guys see his phone number on the chat? Maybe it's pulling up. Do you guys see his phone number? You're in the private chat. Are you in the private chat?
No. Let me put it. Hold on. Let me see if
Let me look.
because I don't see your private chat over here. Let me try it again.
Okay. Yeah, you might have to give it to.
Oh
Okay.
man.
Okay.
Okay. Well, hold on.
Yeah, nobody sees it. So let me see. I see this in the private chat. I'm gonna put this over here. Y'all, I'm gonna put the phone number in here. Y'all can call him off this number.
And I emailed it to you.
Hold on a second.
Oh man, I thought I've been putting the number in there the whole
Y'all
time.
could also just go to the website and book the free consult, but you know how people be doing. Here's the phone number, everybody.
That calendar, I've been doing a
full.
lot of interviews and the calendar's pretty full. So
Okay.
if you want to call me directly, hit me, man. That's it. Hit me. I'm gonna talk to you. We're gonna chop it up.
Okay, everybody. Here is the phone number because I got to get out of here, but it's 678-627-2796. Put this in your phone right now. 678-627-2796.
What's the website? The website is the link that she posted up there.
I've been putting this in here about 27 times. Lifting the veil. Lifting the veil, and it's actually pinned to the top. It's the top comment. Lifting the veil. It's been pinned in here about 47 times. Right here is his website, everybody. ltvacademy.com. You can even Google lifting the veil. It'll pop up. You can Google Bill. You can Google lifting the veil. It'll pop up. Again, www.ltvacademy.com, and his phone number has been in the chat. All right, you guys, y'all gonna have to start typing some of this stuff in, people. Okay, phone number one more time is 678-627-2796. Go ahead and text Bill right now and say, listen, I just saw you on Ericka's channel. Looking forward to doing a consult later this week. Put the number in, y'all. Help yourselves. Okay. So listen, thank you, Bill. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for educating folks. Thank you for sharing this gift. Class starts Monday, y'all. Don't fall behind. Class starts Monday. Lots of options here. Bill will be posting all this on the Good Community Wall and in the emails. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
And I hope you're able to get a new YouTube channel.
Well, I got one.
Oh, you got one? Okay.
Yeah, Subzero 3639 live. It's
live.
The same
Okay.
thing, it's just live at the end of it now.
All right.
And it's 3639, not 369.
For sure. All right. Thank you so much, Sub. Have a great night.
Okay.
All right, you guys. Later.